Yo, so it's new season to sport. My name is Aleja Adeboali, and it's the best sporting show in the whole of the universe. Okay, I'll give credit to Thierry Ore, Michael Richards, and Jimmy Carragher for their show. I'll say it does one over my own show. And like I said, this show is proudly sponsored by Bukenzo Glams, and this show is airing, of course, on Queen Live TV, on Amazon TV, and of course on the Band Radio School, number one internet radio in the whole of Canada. My name is Adeja Adebowale, and of course today I'm going to be doing the show solo for now. Hopefully I'll be joined later on the show with some other co-hosts as the show moves on. But of course we'll be starting as against our normal tradition. We'll be starting with football today, where we'll be doing a review and a couple of previews of the Champions League and what have you. And of course, we'll be starting off with the preview of the Champions League. The Champions League is said to be the best, the biggest football football show or football glamour when it comes to club football. Save for the World Cup, the Champions League is always the numero uno for any football league event. And of course, we had almost at the cruise of the Champions League. We had the first leg of the Champions League last weekend, where we said AC Milan, because of their pedigree, will probably do something meaningful against Inter Milan. That wasn't the case. Inter Milan ran out with a 2-0 lead. 2-0 lead, yeah, right now. Of course, AC Milan, unfortunately, were at home for that fixture. But of course, they play in the same stadium. It's still San Siro, and it's going to be Inter Milan versus AC Milan right now. Inter will be at home for this fixture. 2-0 first leg. Second leg is going to be a more dicey one. Inter Milan scaled through a dicey fixture over the weekend against Sassuolo, where they won 4-2. And AC Milan disappointingly lost to Spezia. But the fact about or the best thing about this particular fixture was the fact that after the game, the fans of AC Milan called the players, including the coach, Stefano Pioli, and discussed with them like, "Yo, so see, we love you guys, and we see what you guys done, but this is not the kind of expectations or the kind of requirement we need from this team." And of course, it's a big one, and of course, for me, it's the first time I'm seeing this kind of situation ever since I've been watching football in my life. I've never seen the fans talking to the coach, and of course talking to the players as well after a game, and the players were actually listening attentively to this fan base. It's a good one. So for the game at hand, which is going to be AC Milan versus Inter Milan versus AC Milan, for me personally, I think it's going to end in a 2-0 victory for AC Milan. And um, if they go into if they have to go into extra time, I'll call it for Inter Milan in the long run. I see Inter Milan getting to the to the final. They hold the momentum right now, and I'm choosing AC Milan just because I have a little bit of preference for AC Milan. But from an analytical standpoint, I would say Inter would definitely, because of the momentum that they have right now, a 2-0 lead, would definitely do one over AC Milan for this fixture. The worst that we could get, honestly, I'm changing my voice right now. The worst they could get in this fixture would be a draw. So effectively, for me, I'll say Inter Milan going into the finals. But the more interesting one would be the game between Real Madrid and Man City. The first feature ended 1-1 on the night. Great goal by Vinicius Junior. The other one was scored by Kevin De Bruyne. A little bit of controversy surrounding that as well, given that KDB, Bernardo Silva, that brought the ball back into play. The ball was out of play before he kicked the ball back into the play. So it's a dicey one, but that's the kind of controversy that football and should I say sport generally thrive on. So it's a good one if you look at it. It gives them an explosion for the second leg. It gives you it builds the right momentum that we need for this one. I said AC Milan, Real Madrid are the numero uno when it comes to this Champions League or to this tournament. So we expect them to do what they know how to do best, which is beat anybody that is right in front of them. And for for Man City, it's and I feel Man City. I look at Man City, I look at Chelsea. They have a similar story. They've been knocking on this door for so long, and at the end of the day, or one time or the other, it's going to be open for them. And maybe not this season, maybe probably not. But I strongly feel they are closer to the Champions League final than Real Madrid for this fixture. And I want you guys to let me know what you think about this particular one. For me personally, I feel Man City will win this fixture at the Etihad. At the very least, they will go through. That's what I think. I feel in the matchups we had Rudiger against Eddie Haaland. Rudiger actually did held his own against Erling Haaland, and he did perfectly well. In the middle of the park, Cruz did wonderfully well. Modric, the never aging Modric, did his own part as well. And on the other side, I think Gudogan looks to be the prime Messi right now, doing what he knows how to do best for Manchester City when it comes to this crucial stage. Um, these are the kind of players that you want in your ranks. It might be over the course of the years being prone to injuries, a little bit of disappointment here and there. But then and again, this is the kind of players that you can count on. Last season, he was the one that won the league for Man City um, on the last day, and he's doing it again right now. So this would be a very crucial player that Real Madrid should pay attention to. I know Kevin De Bruyne and Adriana looks to be the messiah or the alpha guys in the context of Manchester City. But the truth is, Ake Godigan is a guy that you Real Madrid guys should watch out for because it could be the spoiler for you guys at the end of the day. Um, of course, so a more controversial one, or should I say an interesting topic, is the fact that we need to start having this conversation. And this conversation needs to start right now. And I'll base this on the premises of what we've seen over the years with Ronaldo and Messi. People have always come up with the idea that you can't be the best while you're still actively in the trade. But behind every general rule, there's always an exception. I feel the exception was Ronaldo and Messi. It looks like we needed to give them that exception because of what they've done for the history of football. And that's it. The same goes for Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola won the treble with Barcelona winning the Copa del Rey, winning the Champions League, and of course winning the league, which is an enviable achievement. Um, if you start digging around across Europe, you'll find very few people that have actually done this. Maybe you're talking about Sir Alex Ferguson in 1999. You talk about Jose Mourinho with Inter Milan. You talk about who else can I think of right now? You have to go back to Africa. Go to Zamalek that did it. Go to South America as well. But if this guy can manage to do it, Pep Guardiola can manage to do it in an elite team, elite competition like the Premier League, winning the Premier League. It's not a joke winning the Premier League at the same time winning the Champions League. And that means he will have done it twice in his career. In the short span career, if you ask me. Because I think the career started sometime in 2008 or thereabouts. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But this is where it started. And within the space of 15 years, winning treble twice. And this is a guy that hasn't, I don't believe has gone any season without winning a trophy since start of his career. Maybe the first year in City was a little bit rough, but save for that, and there's always argument for and against Pep Guardiola. There's always an argument against it. Some people will tell you, oh, he chooses the best team that works for him. Barcelona had Messi, they had Xavi, and they had Iniesta, and but he built something. They have theory already, but he built something there. Even after those guys left, David Villa, he still won something, did perfectly well with Barcelona before he went on his supposed sabbatical leave before moving to Bayern Munich. With Bayern Munich, there were a lot of disappointments at Bayern because of the Champions League. We know Bayern will always win the league unless there's an exception or a bad year for them. So we cannot basically judge it based on winning the league in Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich are perennial title challengers when it comes to the Champions League. So you could actually do say for the Champions League, it was at Bayern Munich was not the best that we were looking at, right? But it came to Manchester City, he has been bossing this league and has effectively turned the Premier League to the Farmers League, if you ask me. Winning 4 trophies, winning 4 league titles in 5 years is amazing. Even the year that he lost, he probably lost with 1 point or 2 points. That's the year that Liverpool won the league, and this year is going to win it again because he needs. I believe he needs just 1 more point after the loss of Arsenal against Brighton and Hove at the Emirates Stadium. I'm saying all this just to buttress the point and take us through a journey of how Guardiola has been able to achieve all these things, and we have to look at the metal of Guardiola himself. People tend to castigate Guardiola. He has money to spend. He has this. He has that. This is a guy that effectively changed, he actually molded Messi to be what he is right now. Messi is an exceptional talent. Don't get me wrong. He was discovered during the reign of Frank Rijkaard, and he got his debut under Frank Rijkaard. We know the history of Messi. We know he's a guy that is destined for the top. But we've seen so many people destined for the top. We've seen Ricardo Quaresma destined for the top. He never achieved that. We've seen Pablo Alman destined for the top. He never achieved that. We see Freddie Adu being touted as the next best thing, and he never fulfilled his career, or should I say his potentials at the end of his career. We've seen so many people. We've seen Alan Johnson, a lot of English guys. I know people don't like to talk about English guys, but of course we've seen so many English guys that fumbled the bag. Even player like Craig Boyan of Barcelona, we've seen a lot of them, and they were not able to replicate that when it comes to the big stage. But Guardiola effectively did this for Messi. A molding, gave him a regular regime, food diet, and gave him that free reign that he needed at Barcelona. At the point, Messi was first nine for Barcelona. At the point, he was a playmaker. At the point, he was playing from the wings. He has actually done that. And I'm saying all this just to show you the principles that he imbibes into his team. The principle that Pep Guardiola imbibes into the team. And I know people tend to say, oh, it's not the best. He's not the best guy for the job. He did not do this. He did not do that. But Guardiola over the years has shown that I can actually do it and I can replicate it anywhere that I go to. And we've seen it with Barcelona. We've seen it at Bayern Munich, discovering players like Joshua Kimmich, discovering so many players and helping them fulfill their potentials effectively. And the conversation needs to be spoken about. We can't shy away from it for so long. If Guardiola wins the treble with Man City this season, are we going to say Guardiola is the best coach in the history of the world? Because after that, maybe probably Guardiola will go to a country like Spain or Brazil, where they are major challengers for the World Cup. Muna, Obi, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to News Santa. He's making his debut for us today. He's going to be one of our golden basketball analysts here on the show. But I'm looping him into football today. I know football might not be his best forte, but of course, he has to make do with that. I'm going to ask you just one question. If Guardiola wins the treble this season, is it effective for us to say Guardiola is the best coach in the history of the world? Yeah, can you hear me?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well,
Effectively.
so first of all, thank you for welcoming me to the show.
Yeah.
I'm Obino, Obino Dadimon, as everyone knows me. So you said something about football. Well, when I was living in Nigeria, football was my number one. But in recent years, I've drifted a lot to basketball. But if Pep Guardiola wins the treble, is he going to be the of all time?
Of what time? Yeah, because we don't have to shy away from it. I know he has a pretty young career, but this is the guy that wins trophy every year. This is the guy that has the facelift on the Premier League into a Farmers League, winning 5 titles in 6 years, 4 in 5.
I'm a little bit biased about Mourinho. Yeah,
Okay.
I come from that talk of watching Mourinho back in the day because I was a diehard Chelsea fan. But I mean, if you go by stats, with the stats that you have just dropped, I don't think it will be out of question to say that. Because if you look at it as it stands, I don't know if anybody matches that. Because I mean, take for he was with back in the day, right?
Yeah, I was back. He was with Barcelona back in the days. Moved to Bayern Munich, won the treble at Barcelona.
And he has been no. Let's give it up to him.
Yeah, and I think tactically we have to give him his credit. We have to give him his flowers tactically as well. I know people like to talk about him spending money, blah blah blah, but he has transcended beyond the level of just spending money. He has brought in a football philosophy. It was not the one that created it. It was created by Johan Cruyff, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But he brought that back to life. He gave it the breath of fresh air that this brand of football needed. And we can argue all we want. Might be for Alex Ferguson winning as much as he did. You might be for Jose Mourinho, Arrigo Sacchi, Giovanni Trapattoni, even someone like Felipe Scolari, for instance. You know, he did it in South America, won the World Cup as well. And there's always an argument for Carlo Ancelotti for all he has done in the Champions League. But the brand of football that Pep brings is just exceptional, if you ask me. And of course, that's a conversation that we need to have over and over again. And if you guys like it, please comment down below and let us know who you like more. Is it going to be Pep Guardiola as the best coach of all time? And let's say for his generation or by extension of all time. And of course, just a little bit.
We can put it like in this decade.
In his generation.
In this decade, or
in his generation. Okay, and of course, we've done a little bit of the preview of the Champions League. Pep Guardiola and Man City being on the verge of winning the league. They are just 1 point away from winning the league. And just a rundown of the games played over the weekend. Leeds United drew against Newcastle 2-2. Aston Villa defeated Spurs again 2-1. Chelsea played a 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace won against Bournemouth 2-0. Right. Manchester United defeated Wolves 2-0. Southampton are officially relegated from the Premier League after losing 2-0 against Fulham. Brentford won against West Ham United 2-0. Everton lost at home against the incumbent champion or the incoming champion, Manchester City 3-0, while Arsenal was defeated at home against Brighton and Hove 3-0. Just for the sake of time, Obiano, if you're with me, let's just go straight into the world of basketball.
Yeah,
let's go straight to the world of basketball. And we are going to start from your city, where we have issue brewing up again for this young talent. This talent is one of the best. It reminds me, every time I see him, it reminds me of Allen Iverson.
Exactly.
There's no two way about it. He's a very good ball handler. He's one of the best point guard within his age bracket. He's an NBA All-Star, and he's going to be an NBA All-Star for a very long time. All things being equal. But sometimes attitude just kills careers. We've seen so many people, so many athletes, whether in track and field, football, boxing, that fell off the rail because of their poor attitude. And we all thought Ja Morant and I'm talking about no other person apart from Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies, which happens to be the club, the hometown club of Bobiano. And it's so disappointing. We thought we've gone beyond that because he effectively derailed the season of the Grizzlies with these off-court antics. First, it was the stripper club issue. Then it was the gun waging issue on IG Live. And we had a repeat of that. And now he's in for his next suspension from the NBA, according to reports by Wilge. And of course, it's going to be another kind of, how do I say it, distraction for the Grizzlies going into next season. Because of course, going to next season, everybody's going to be talking about it. What happens to Ja? Is he going to be traded? What kind of suspension are you going to give it to him? And how disappointed are you in Ja Morant?
I'm very, very disappointed. In fact, I made a post about it. I don't want to cut on this channel, but it's really disappointing whereby somebody has a lot of potential. He displays the potential. You see, he's on his verge. He's the superstar. He's the hometown. Like when I say in Memphis, we love Ja Morant. His posters are everywhere. He's the pride of the city, right?
Wow.
And then his off-court antics cannot let him focus on the game. In African culture, we say when a dog is going to die, it no longer perceives the smell of feces. This is like and it's a different thing when a player, you can say, okay, the product of his environment. Bro, you grew up in a two-parent home, in a two-parent home, different parent home. Mm-hmm. Your sister and your parents.
Yeah.
Your dad is always there on the court. I have pictures with his dad, at least 2 pictures with his dad on the court. You have a Nike endorsement deal for a shoe.
They give me the yeah.
But you are gravitating towards the gangster life that you have no business doing. Now, one thing about this city is that Memphis is one of the dangerous places to live. I gotta put it there. Memphis proper. I live like on the outskirts, but Memphis proper. So it's easy to be swayed by that culture. You want to carry guns, you want to do this, that. Bro, you're not a gangster.
Exactly.
You're a ball player. Play ball.
Exactly.
Even if you want to move with security, let someone else carry the gun for you. And to think that just 2 months ago,
we had the same issue.
Yeah. And you came back. Distracting the team. And
by extension, the whole city.
The season before last, I saw how coordinated the team was. But this past season, even before he started having problems, I would call some of my friends and say, I don't really have confidence in this team. I feel like there's a lot of lack of cohesion.
Missing pieces.
Yes, missing pieces. Then this thing started happening. You are the star player. The team loves you. They move the ball through you.
You are the face of the show.
And you were on your way to becoming the face of the league. It's not just...
Exactly. Potentially, it could be the face of the league.
When I travel to other cities and say, oh, I'm from Memphis, I say, Ja Morant, I like him.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this question, though. And like I said during the pre-promotion call, I'm not going to cut his dad any form of slacks. These are things that... Because this dude is a young guy. He's a budding star. That's the truth. We might say because he has money and he has endorsement and all, but he's still a kid. That's the truth. And kids will always behave like kids, and adults needs to behave like adults. I've seen Jamorans that behave in aggressive manner in ways inconsistent to how a father of such stature should be behaving. And I'll make a reference to what we had with someone like Shaq O'Neal with his dad guiding him through. Why are they not going through this process of trying to get Ja maybe integrated to someone like Shaq, someone like Akim Olajuwon that is doing wonderful job in Africa right now. Someone like Ross Barkley. I'm not even talking about LeBron or whatnot. Or someone, a local hero within Memphis that can mentor him.
Well, let me say this, right?
Why not go through that process?
Let me say this, right? Before I came on this show, my friend called me and he was saying the father. This. Ja Morant is not a kid. Let's get that clear. You are 24 years old. At 18 years old, you should be able. You can. How would I put it now? You can be held liable for the things that you do, right? But then again, I mean, what we see on TV is what we see on TV, right? Your father can do what he tell you what he has to tell you. At the end of the day, you are the one who will make the right decisions for yourself, right? You know, I don't know the values he inculcates in his child, but I can really see some pieces of that not really acting like you know how like a
exactly
father figure kind of by the courtside, you are doing childish things and stuff. Your child is not your friend.
100%.
My children are not my friend. We could be cool. I want to have a beautiful daddy, but we are not friends. You're my child. And so as
when it gets to that point,
when I have to be strict, I will be strict.
Exactly.
In all the being strict, at the end of the day, a man has got to take responsibility for his actions. Let's take a look at, and in a situation whereby we are black people in America.
Mm-hmm.
In African American culture, there's a high level of father absence in raising of kids. In what we see. So we love to see fathers involved. Like first time I met Ja Morant's dad, I told him, I said, I admire your fatherhood skills and how you grew your son. And he shook me and said, I appreciate that. And I took a picture and walked away. But let's look at LaVar Ball. I brought that, analogy. LaVar Ball was raising his kids. Do you know why the second son is not in the NBA? Do you know why?
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Go ahead, please. Tell me.
Because he stole in China. Remember that time? The UCLA students went to China. And they went to a Louis Vuitton. You can afford that thing, bro. Why did you steal? Are you going to blame the father? Did his father tell him to go and steal? I mean, come on.
So right now,
there needs to be. I personally, I deserve that. I feel like he should be punished, but I feel like they should give him another chance, and then his father needs to step up to the plate at this time. Cut off these gangsters that you surround yourself with. They are not like your real friends who care about you will not be putting you on camera holding a gun.
Exactly. Moving with the wrong crowd, it's going to be a downfall.
We hope that he will learn his lesson.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. So effectively now, Obiano is saying the dog is right at the foot of Ja Morant is to be blamed for whatever is occurring to him right now. We should cut his dad and his family
too.
environment.
Ja Morant is the father.
Of course, anybody can be a father. Even a 17-year-old boy can be a father.
So,
unfortunately,
I brought that analogy to say you can't keep saying his father.
Yeah, exactly. All right, perfect. And of course, too, a more interesting one, of course, is going to be the review of the game 6. We all thought we were going to see a game 6, Klay Thompson.
Oh, you mean that the Lakers?
The game 6, Klay Thompson.
Well,
we thought we were going to be seeing.
Personally, I do not like Golden State Warriors. I have a long-term beef with them because they beat us the other year. The other beef I have with them is I really don't like their style of basketball because overtime.
Uh-huh.
Which is shooting threes all the time. Every time they're shooting threes. So if you watch game 6, you will see that they were choked. As soon as the Lakers hung up on them and prevented them from getting free spots to shoot their threes, they were choked.
Yeah.
So I was happy. I wanted to see something new. And as it stands, I think we're going to get a repeat of the bubble. The bubble.
Yeah,
because I don't know if you're watching the game currently.
Yeah, we're going to get the
Boston Celtics.
Actually beating the 76ers.
They're smoking them out. You know? So we're going to have a repeat of the bubble to show you that the bubble wasn't
it wasn't a fluke. So we're gonna be having a Denver Nuggets versus LA Lakers. The series is going to be starting on Tuesday.
Yes.
What do you think? What's the matchup like? What do you think is going to happen in this?
For me personally, I will root for the Lakers because before I became a Grizzlies fan, I've been a LeBron fan. I follow him anywhere he goes. Until I got my home, I still have my custom-made Lakers jersey here, so I will go for the Lakers. But then again, you cannot rule the Nuggets out. They have been wanting this thing for years. They have been coming close, so they're going to come out with their A game. You cannot rule out Jokic. Jokic is a top-tier basketball player, 2-time MVP. He's good. He's very good in attacking the basket. He's tall, super tall. You can't just. They will need to put in a lot of pieces to stop him. But then, do not forget that they have Murray, who is from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier basketball player. And then they have the other guy, the light-skinned guy. I forgot his name. Who is also very good, So the Lakers need to come out with their A game. But then again, it's LeBron James, man.
So what are you calling this series? Is it going to be a 7-game series?
I want to say Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. Oh wow, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty
because the Lakers and everybody's staying healthy. As long as Anthony Davis plays,
it's going to be difficult for anybody to beat.
Yes, and the Davis is always the piece. Because if you look at Lakers now, their bench is not bad.
Yeah,
they sprung up a surprise with Walker.
Yeah,
he came out from nowhere, started knocking down shots.
Yeah, Walker was injured for a while, came back better, and he's doing pretty well.
Schroeder is playing well. A little, I can liken Schroeder a little bit to Devalova, although he's not as rough as Devalova. I don't know if you remember Devalova, the card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Schroeder is doing a lot of dirty work. I want to say, and another guy, D'Angelo Russell.
Russell, yeah.
He's very skillful, comes in, knocks down some threes. And
so basically you're calling the Lakers in 7 games.
No, 6. 4-2.
6 games, sorry. Yeah. 6 games. And I say that's pretty
and on the East, I was going to go for the 7.
It's pretty bold of you to say that. And on the East part, the East defeated the New York Knicks, and as it stands right now, it's going to be the Celtics against the Miami Heat.
Well,
in the Eastern Conference final.
I'm not a fan of the East Coast, so I don't really care who wins. I don't really like the Celtics. I mean, I like the 76ers, but unfortunately, they have disappointed me. As you can see, it looks like Joel Embiid keeps getting choked in the semi-final. He has been a chronic semi-finalist, just like their coach.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers has lost so many semi-final games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll say may the best team win.
Okay, so you're not calling anybody in the East between the East, Miami Heat.
Because I want to see LeBron make history again.
if you had to choose who is going to be the game changer in the Eastern Conference between Jimmy Butler and of course Jason Tatum, who are you going to be choosing?
I like the spirits and the mind Jimmy brings to the game. You know, you can't really predict what he will do, but you know he's going to give you 100%. Hustle play. Jimmy is the hustler. From Chicago to when he went to Minnesota to when he went to Jimmy has gotten better over the years. Jimmy is a hustler. So when it comes to heart, I'll give you the Jimmy Butler. But do not rule out Jason Tatum. That guy is cold. I don't know if you're watching this game. You see what he's done today? 42 points already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It was pretty bad in game 6. So right now you are expecting, you don't want to call anybody in the East. You want to sit on the fence for the Eastern Conference, but you're calling the Lakers in 6 games.
I'm calling the Lakers to win it all.
To win it all. Oh wow, yes. that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you very much, Obiano, for joining the show today. And guys, that will be wrap up the show today. We have a whole lot more to talk about, unfortunately, but we don't have time to go ahead. But the Suns are fired Williams deservedly after they lost out. They were blown away by the Nuggets. I would see and may the best team win. So we'll see you again next week. My name is Laji Adeboali, and of course, you'll be seeing our guy, Daddy Muna TV, more on the show as the show continues. Have a wonderful sporting week, guys. Bye.
All right.